I'm Rebecca Kanopka, Carter County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources, and welcome to our first Youth Ag Series video. And today we're going to be completing a fun project that you can complete at your house with just a few simple items. You're going to need some colored pencils or crayons, a few leaves, and a sheet of paper. So we're going to be making leaf texture collages. And for those of you that are in 4-H, this could actually be a 4-H project, so you can check with Rebecca Hayes, our new 4-H agent, about how to complete that project. But we're just going to talk about a few simple things today.
So what is a leaf rubbing texture collage? Well, first let's talk about texture. Texture is an element of design, and it's the way something feels when it's touched, or it looks like it would feel if you would touch it. So for example, sandpaper is rough, velvet is smooth. If we look at the picture of the tree stump here, the bark would be rough, and the top part would be a little bit smoother. Texture is created in both 2D and 3D art using a variety of techniques and materials. Now that we know what texture is, let's talk about rubbings. So a raised design on a surface, like Lincoln's head on a penny, is called a relief. And to make a rubbing, we lay a piece of paper over our relief or a surface with some texture on it, and just rub our pencil or crayon across that surface. The relief design or texture of the surface is now imprinted on our paper. So the next thing to talk about is collage. So a collage is just an art technique where the artwork is made from assembling different forms. So you can see some examples here with the mosaic, or digital collages with the flowering tree, or digital pictures into a collage, or just random items placed in an area. But today we're going to put all of those concepts of rubbings, texture, and collage together to form our leaf rubbings. So we're going to use leaves as our relief item to get that texture on our paper. But let's talk a little bit about the leaves, because if we use different parts of the leaf or different characteristics of the leaf, we can get some different textures in our collages. So first off, the petiole is just the stem of our leaf, the stalk of the leaf. And the veins in our leaves will also provide lots of texture in our collages. And those veins are just the network of the vascular bundles of xylem and phloem tissue in the leaf. And that's how nutrients and water are transported throughout the leaf. Unlike our leaf collections, for today's leaf rubbings, you can use any kind of leaf, whether it comes from a tree or grass or weed. But we're going to talk a little bit today about trees specifically. So the tree type that you can use for your leaf rubbing can be deciduous or evergreen. So our deciduous trees are trees that lose their leaves in the fall. Okay, those trees don't die, they just go dormant for the winter time, and they will have new leaves that come out in the spring. Our evergreen trees, or our conifers, are trees that keep their leaves longer than a year, and so they usually have needles or scales on there as their leaves. There are two different types of leaves that you might find to use in your leaf rubbings if you're choosing tree leaves, and that's a simple leaf or a compound leaf. And our simple leaves have a single blade, but our compound leaves have multiple leaflets that are attached to that petiole or that common stalk. And how we can tell a compound leaf from multiple simple leaves is that every time a tree makes a bud, right here we can see our bud, everything that comes out after that is one leaf. So you can see we have one leaf here that's made up of multiple leaflets, and if you look here we have a bud and one leaf that comes off after that. There are different types of compound leaves, and each would give your texture collage a different look. Next up, we have the leaf margin, and this can add some nice texture to your leaf rubbings. So some of our leaves have entire or smooth edges. Okay, so there's no teeth or anything there. But then we have some leaves that are called serrate, and they have little jagged edges or teeth along the margin or the side of the leaf that would provide some texture for your collages. And then finally we have our lobe leaves, and they have rounded extensions or pointed extensions that are separated by these sinuses, or this space or indentation, this groove that's between the lobes here. And they can provide texture for your collages as well. Next up we have leaf shape. And so we have some that are broad leaves, and they are trees that have leaves that are 1.5 times wider than they are long. And then we have some narrow leaves that are longer than they are wide. You can also see some of the different shapes here that you can use in your leaf rubbings.
Let's get started with our collage. So the first leaf I'm going to use is a tulip poplar leaf, or a yellow poplar, and this is our state tree. A lot of people say that it looks like a cat, so that's what we're going to make to start with. So I'm going to lay our leaf down flat, take one of our colored pencils and just rub over top of it. You're going to be able to see those veins that we talk about pop out on our paper here. So we have our first leaf rubbing there. Then if we wanted to take a different leaf, have a willow leaf here, you can use that. Let's say we're going to make a flower here. So we'll take our green and go over top of this. Tried this with markers too, and it doesn't work as well, so I recommend colored pencils or crayons. So we have our leaf. We're going to say that's our stem. I'm going to use our red bud leaf here, which is heart-shaped, and we'll use that as a top of our stem there to be our flower. And I don't want the petiole on this one this time, so I'm going to just break that off. Put that under here. And then just go over that, different color. Alright, so here's the start of my basic texture collage. But they can be as elaborate as you want them to be, and I'm by no means an artist, but I know that you guys out there are a lot better artists than I am. So I want to see your finished collages. You can use tree leaves like I did. You can even use dandelions or grass blades, any kind of leaves that you have around your yard will work. Make sure if you're picking somebody's flowers, you ask permission before you pull those leaves off. But we want to see your finished work. So have your parents either upload your finished texture collages to our Facebook page, Carter County Agriculture Extension Service, or you can email them to me at rebecca.k@uky.edu. So we'll do a special drawing for those of you that submit your entries. So be sure and get those to us. Thanks for watching today. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact your local county extension office.